looking at your CV, I noted that you have held many leadership positions, chairman of department, dean, and different universities. So what leadership qualities do you possess, Professor, to make you a great CJ if we select you?
Honorable Chair, I am a transformative leader. With that, I mean, I'm a good communicator, I'm good at problem solving, bring in a problem, I'll see how to sort it out. I listen to others, I engage with others, I pay attention to other people's views, I build teams, I bring out the best in others, I encourage others to offer their best. I'm consultative, collegial, and all that makes a good leader tick.
So what is your understanding of a transformative leader? Because, Professor, I think you can communicate well, you can listen, you can build teams, but you are still not able to transform. So what is a transformative leader?
Honorable Chair, a transformative leader is one who is able to look at a vision, get the team to buy into the vision, set specific objectives, motivate people to work towards achievement of those objectives, and where one may be lagging behind or for whatever reason, the person is encouraged to come along. It's a way, through this kind of leadership, one is able to carry everyone on board. One is able to encourage everyone to do their best. All through my leadership positions, I've always told people I've worked with that please tell me your strength. We cannot sit anywhere screaming about weaknesses. Tell me your strength. Let us build on your strength and see how together we can move this team forward, this organization forward, this school forward, this department forward.
Okay, my last question to you, Professor, and I'm sure you have thought through the role of a Chief Justice. So if we nominated you to be the Chief Justice, please tell the Commission what you do the first 3 months, immediately, short term, maybe 1 year, and then long term.
Honorable Chair, the first thing I will do after I come in May next month is to work on mending relationships between the judiciary and the other arms of government. For me, that would be the first agenda on my list. The second agenda, Honorable Chair, is to build allies, to take the judiciary to the people. So far, the judiciary has done a lot. There are very wonderful reports about this and that and percentages, but somebody in the village in Magarin doesn't know about that. Border riders gathered somewhere in Kakamega don't know about that. So my next agenda would be to take the judiciary to the people. What am I saying in practical terms, Honorable Commissioners? We have professional bodies here. We have the Kenya Medical Association. We have the HR professionals. We have this and that. I want the judiciary to be present at each of their annual meetings. We get a slot and just tell them about the judiciary, what we do. All the professional bodies, and all of them hold annual meetings. The second group, Honorable Chair, the Kenya Association of Manufacturers. We read about them there, we meet them in court, but they are also human beings. They are people. I would want us to have a session with them, a structured meeting with them, just to tell them about the judiciary, what the judiciary does, and all that, so that they also can, buy into the judiciary, accept it as their own. Honorable Chair, we have trade unions in this country. We hear about them when there are disputes in court, but I would want us to have occasion when they are having their normal meetings. We send there, say, Commissioner Koske, to go and talk to them about what the judiciary has done, what the judiciary is doing. Honorable Chair, we have law schools. At the moment, our relationship with law schools is not formulated at all. With respect to law schools, Honorable Chair, I'll want about 3 forms of engagement. Number 1, we get all employees of the judiciary who have postgraduate degrees to offer to teach at least one course at the university. So if someone is CPA, Dr. So-and-so in finance, let the person identify the university where the person can teach at least one course in finance. I want this magistrate in Homa Bay who has a master's degree to volunteer at least 3 hours to go and teach. Let us be able to interact with other members of the university system so that they are also able to feel the judiciary. Honorable Chair, at the moment, law schools have better courtrooms than the judiciary. And this is because the moot courtrooms are molded along the lines of the courts at The Hague. Beautiful, networked, and so on. Added to that, courtesy of the Council of Legal Education, each law school has some kind of area of focus or specialization. I would want the judiciary to enter into some kind of structured engagement with each of these law schools so that using their ports of strength, they are able to develop moot court sessions, which would then eventually be televised. We have very many TV stations. So we can have, for example, Citizen running a program on family law offered by Catholic University. We have NTV running a program on environmental law from the University of Nairobi. We have KTN running a program on communications law from Daystar University, and so on. But then again, weekly programs. When we were growing up, we used to hear of Vioja Mahakamani. I would want us to improve on that aspect of Vioja Mahakamani so that we use this and through the linkages with the universities to be able to sell the message of the judiciary to the law schools. I'm thinking about these border riders in very many centers. They have a stake in the judiciary. I would want us to have set up some kind of way in collaboration with the NGOs to be able to reach out to the border riders, to be able to reach out to these traders at open air markets, to be able to reach out wherever, so that they also get to know about the judiciary. And I have thought through this, Honorable Chair. I would want to package 4 points. Number 1, how does the judiciary work? Number 2, alternative dispute resolution mechanisms. Number 3, obeisance of court orders. And number 4, corruption. If we're able to package these 4 points, which can be packaged in a 15 to 20 minutes presentation, sell it to our border riders, sell it to people everywhere. They will be able to move with us. They will be able to co-own the judiciary. They will be able to feel the judiciary is theirs. One of the things I will do is to try and make the judiciary people-owned. I want the people to own the judiciary. Once we get them to own it in that manner, where they have a lot of information about it, where they are able to associate with it, where they are able to feel what it does, then should we want to know about corruption in the judiciary, they will tell us, because they are the people. We live amongst them. They know us. Should we have challenges with obeisance of court orders, they will help us. In the same vein, Honorable Chair, I did talk about mending relationships, but I didn't go further. Allow me half a minute to do that. I'm alive to the fact that in Parliament we have specialized parliamentary committees. One in charge of justice and legal affairs, finance, what. But in my thinking, each member of Parliament has a stake in the judiciary. I would want us to reach out to every member of Parliament. We have a category of representatives called women representatives. I would want the judiciary to engage with that category. So when they go back to their constituents, they are able to sell the message of the judiciary. We have senators, Honorable Chair. I'm not talking about committees at this point. I'm talking about senators as representatives of various counties. I would want us to engage them so that as they go about their duties in their counties, they are able to sell the message of the judiciary. We have the kinds of governors. That is at an official level. We have the MCAs. These MCAs also have annual conferences. I would want the judiciary to be present at those conferences every time they are holding a meeting. There's an association of speakers of counties. When they are having their meetings, I want the judiciary to be there. So that way then we carry the judiciary to that place. Now, staff. I said I bring out the best in others. Honorable Chair, with respect to staff, I have 2 to 3 things to say. Number one, the question of transfers of staff where small families are hurt. Employees of the judiciary are as well entitled to the protection under Article 45 as any other Kenyan. I would want us to have a serious review of the transfer policy and ask the Kenya Magistrates and Judges Association to tell us how they want it done. It is their thing, let them bring in that. But then aside from that, we have other employees of the judiciary. I would also want to hear from them how they want it to be done. We get it from them and implement something that we are all comfortable with. Again, still on the staff, Honorable Chair, I would want some very serious engagement with staff development under the Bangalore principles. There's talk of competence. I want to improve the competences of all staff of the judiciary. How do I want this done? Through short-term seminars, exchange programs with neighboring counties. The government of Kenya usually receives some scholarships from Japan, Commonwealth, where, as Chief Justice, I will want to lobby for a minimum of 15 scholarships annually devoted for members of the judiciary. So that when we then get them, we have a committee that would have set out rules for allocation and then they are allocated fairly. And with time, we help improve ourselves.
Professor, and I noticed that you use double doctors, so you call yourself Professor Dr. Moni Wekesa. Is that more of a German tradition or is it your preference?
Honorable Chair, we have different academic cultures. Those people trained in the US, like the Honorable Chair, just write their names, Olive Mugenda, PhD. In the UK, just write Dr. So-and-so and it's done. In Central Europe, the culture is totally different. You write Professor, Doctor. If you have 2 doctorates, Professor, Doctor. If you have 3, the same thing.
Okay, so it is a culture.
So it is a culture I picked up from one of my alma mater.
Okay.
And Honorable Chair, it is doing wonders here also because Very many people have been encouraged. One came to see me in 2019. He said I had encouraged him. He had a PhD in entrepreneurship and a PhD in law.
Wow. Okay. Thank you very much for that.